What's up? Christy Willa Fellowship for Followers of Christ. So, I was going to journal, but then my pen wouldn't work. It's been a weird evening. It started out great because I did something. I can't talk about it. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. But I took a first step towards something positive and life affirming, really, for me. So that's good. Met some really cool people. Looking forward to seeing them again. And then I got a call from my child who, in any of my attempts in the last week to confirm that they made it home safely because they didn't want me to drive them home, they wanted to allow their former babysitter from next door to drive them home after already having spent the prior evening with their family. And these are people who also hate me because, everyone in this town hates me apparently. Not everyone, but everyone I know. So yeah, I asked them to let me know when they got home safe. They did not. I attempted to reach out to them. No response. No, didn't answer, didn't reply to my text. I attempted to simply put my feelings out there and let them know, like, hey, I don't want to keep bothering you. I just want to know that you're safe. I understand if you don't want to talk to me. Excuse me. However, this thing that you do where you punish me by causing me to worry about you, when you know that all I want to know is that you're safe. Like, I will leave you alone. I won't talk to you. I won't bother you. We were getting along fine. I just scrolled back through our last 3 months worth of conversations through text, and everything was positive until my brother got involved. And then Naya came to Knoxville and reconnected with the neighbors, and now apparently they've reconnected with their biological father. So suddenly Naya is convinced that I intentionally did everything in my power to prevent them from having a better family, claiming that my brother wanted to adopt Naya, claiming that Sandy and the neighbors next door wanted to adopt Naya, claiming that their father, who wanted nothing to do with them and disappeared and did everything in their power to avoid paying child support and having nothing to do with them, supposedly wanted custody of them, which was never a thing. We went to court for child support. He never showed up. He wouldn't even show up for the DNA test. He wouldn't show up. And it's frustrating because my child is in a delusional state now and believing all of these lies and lashing out at me. And so they called me very upset, crying, going off about all these things, barely giving me an opportunity to respond. And when I said, Naya, you understand that these aren't good people, right? They don't have your best interest. Naya yelled at me, you're not a good person. And I said, well, I think I'm going to have to end this conversation if that's how you feel. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but, at this point, it's becoming abusive towards me. And regardless of what has happened in the past, regardless of any of that, I mean, we have talked about it. I have apologized. They said they had forgiven me, but it's this constant rehashing of everything because these other people, these other energies around who are so hell-bent on doing anything they can to hurt me that they'll go so far as to rip my child away from me, putting my child in jeopardy because they're not going to be there to support my child when my child has a breakdown, right? They don't actually care about my child. They're just pretending to care about my child to use my child as a weapon against me, because that is how diabolical these energies truly are. It's really sad. Excuse me. So yeah. Um I, I confronted my brother about it. Of course, he said nothing because he's a narcissist, so he can't comprehend his own wrongdoing, let alone admit it, or make amends for it or do anything healthy, you know. Um, and that's the issue. My child struggles with apparently borderline personality disorder. And so as a result, it is very easy for other narcissists to get in their ear and trigger their narcissistic side, particularly to weaponize it against me. So yeah, my heart is breaking for my child. I am sad for my child. I'm concerned about my child. But apparently that's going to be a no contact situation from now on as well. And the thing is, after I went and confronted my brother about this situation, which honestly, I should raise a lot more hell. I should put him out. I should do something really crazy and drastic, which is, of course, what he wants. That's the idea, to see how far can he go before he actually triggers the response out of me that he wants, because he can't fathom the fact that he's the one with the mental illness. So I came back in here and there was a missed call from them on my phone. And I attempted to call back because the time of the missed call didn't make sense unless they called again after they told me not to contact them again. And so if they did call back, which when they told me that, I said, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'll be here when when you want to reconcile or whatever. They then, okay, so I thought that they called back. So then I attempted to call them back. Didn't get an answer. Texted. Didn't get a response. I tried to just let it go and go to sleep. I made a prayer request about it. But it was weighing heavy on me. And not only that, but I was getting a lot of synchronicities. And I knew that it was karmic projection. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, my conscience would not allow me to ignore it, knowing my child's history of self-harm and suicidal ideation and suicide attempts. So I consulted Meta because, I don't have a partner. I don't have anyone to talk to. Whatever. Meta advised me to call non-emergency police and make them aware of the situation. And so I contacted Nashville first because I'm not sure if my child's in Nashville or Murfreesboro at this point. And then I couldn't get a welfare check in Nashville because I don't have the address for Nashville. I only have the address for Murfreesboro. So then I was directed back to Murfreesboro. So I contacted them and apologized profusely for potentially wasting any time, energy, or resources, because that's not my goal. I just genuinely felt like it would be irresponsible of me, given what I know about my child's history and the fact that I don't know for sure whether they're alone right now. I don't know who's around them, and I don't have any contact information for anyone who's around them or anyone in their area. They have purposely kept everything from me so that I can't execute my duties as a mother. But then they turn around and blame me for not being a good mother. So anyway, I felt that it would be necessary to notify, to ensure that my child is okay, because they've been through a lot. And I can't help them right now because they don't want my help. And I'm not going to force my help on them. However, all I wanted and needed to know was that they were safe. So I got a call back from the authorities, who were able to get in contact with them, and they are safe and they want nothing to do with me. And so knowing that, I just have to leave it at that and leave it in God's hands and pray about it, because they're an adult and these are their choices. And what really breaks my heart are all the other adults, the older adults, the fully grown adults. You know, my child is 22. They are an adult by law, but, you know, who have participated in this nonsense to attempt to not even caring about the position they put my child in, not even caring about how vulnerable that precious, precious angel is, as a result of all the trauma that they've endured, as a result of all of these conspiracies. I hate to say that word. It's so, but literally, what do you call it when a bunch of people get together behind the scenes to manipulate circumstances and situations just to attempt to sabotage or you know, tear down another person? 11/11. If you are working with a network of people, however big or small, with one mission and one mission only, and it is to cause harm to an individual or group, an entity or whatever, how is that not a conspiracy? How is that not a corruption? How? Make it make sense. How am I crazy when I leave, and as soon as I leave, they can't help but go into conversations against me, attacks, you know? Like, are they so, what's the word I need, Lord? Give me a word. Aloof? I don't think that's the right word. Low vibrationally aloof, I guess. I don't know. Are they so, I don't want to use that word. That's a not nice word. Are they so oblivious to their own intentions and motives that they don't comprehend what they're actually doing? Like, I wonder, have they like genuinely and truly convinced themselves that they're the ones who are in the right, and somehow I'm 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Somehow I'm the one doing something wrong, just because they don't like me, because they have some level of envy, some level of resentment, some level of hatred, you know? They can't stand the thought of me being happy, and they will destroy my child if that's what it takes to attempt to cause me unhappiness. And these people call themselves Christians. Let that sink in. I don't know who this will help, or if it'll help anyone at all. 1313. But I hope it helps someone tonight. Just remember, you are loved. You are forgiven. You can be saved. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you've done or what's been done to you, you can repent. You can repair. You can be redeemed. Much love.